Thank you for purchasing a Juki sewing machine. We hope this DVD will be helpful for you to enjoy your sewing. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet in these situations. While sewing, keep an eye on the needle and keep hands away from all the moving parts. With the sewing machine turned off, insert the foot control plug into its connector on the sewing machine. Connect the power line cord to the machine by inserting the 2-hole plug into the main plug socket. Connect the power line plug to the wall outlet. Turn on the power switch. The sewing lamp will light up when the switch is turned on. The machine will start running when Start-Stop button is pressed. And will stop when pressed the second time. Color of the button indicates machine status. If you want to sew with foot control, slowly depress the foot control to start sewing. Release the foot control to stop the sewing machine. When these patterns are selected, reverse is pressed to sew in reverse. If you press and hold the reverse button, the machine will sew backwards until you release the button. Press the reverse button when these patterns are selected. The machine will sew a reinforcement stitch at a low speed and the machine will automatically stop. When these patterns are selected, the machine will immediately sew 3 locking stitches when the auto lock button is pressed, then automatically stop. When these patterns are selected, press the Auto Stop button. The machine will sew 3 locking stitches at the end of the current pattern and automatically stop. With the needle up-down position button, you decide whether the needle shall stop in the up position or in the material when you stop sewing. The speed limiting adjustment lever can control the sewing speed. To increase the speed, slide the lever to the right. To decrease the sewing speed, slide the lever to the left. When you turn the machine on, the LCD screen will be set at direct mode. Press the Mode Selection button to select Pattern 1 mode. If you press the Function button again, Patterns 2 will be displayed. Direct is Direct Stitch Selection mode. Press the buttons to select the utility patterns shown beside the Number button. Patterns 1 is Utility and Decorative Pattern mode, stitch selection using number buttons. Patterns 2 is Alphabet mode, character selection using number buttons. Quick reference plates are under the sewing machine. When you select a stitch, the machine will automatically set the recommended stitch width and length, which will be indicated by numbers on the LCD screen. The stitch width can be regulated by pressing the Stitch Width Adjustment button. For narrower stitch, press the minus button. For a wider stitch, press the plus button. When these patterns are selected, the needle position is regulated by the Stitch Width Adjustment button. Pressing the minus button will move the needle to the left. And pressing the plus button will move the needle to the right. The stitch length can be adjusted by pressing the Stitch Length Adjustment button. To shorten the stitch length, press the minus button. For a longer stitch length, press the plus button. Press the M button to enter the memory mode and store the combinations of characters or decorative stitches. Use the left or right arrow buttons to confirm the pattern memorized in memory mode. Press the C button to clear or erase one character or pattern. Press the M button again to leave the memory mode and return to direct mode. A pattern can be mirror imaged along a vertical axis by pressing the Mirror button. When the Mirror button is pressed again, the mirror function is cancelled. Turn on the power switch. Place the thread and spool holder onto the spool pin. Snap the thread into the thread guide. Wind the thread clockwise around the bobbin winder tension discs. Place the thread end through one of the inner holes in the bobbin and place empty bobbin on the spindle. Push the bobbin to the right. When the bobbin winder spindle is pushed to the right, the Start-Stop button turns orange. Hold the thread tail securely in one hand. Press on the foot control or the Start-Stop button to start winding the bobbin. After the bobbin has wound a few turns, stop the machine and cut the thread near the hole of the bobbin. Continue filling the bobbin until it is full. The motor stops automatically when the bobbin is full. Push the bobbin winder spindle to the left. Cut the thread and then remove the bobbin. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet when inserting or removing the bobbin. When inserting or removing the bobbin, the needle must be fully raised. Open the bobbin cover plate. Insert the bobbin in the bobbin case with the thread running in a counterclockwise direction. With a finger held gently on top of the bobbin. Draw the thread at the arrow markings into the stitch plate thread guide from A to B. Pull the thread at the arrow markings into the stitch plate thread guide from B to C. To cut off excess thread, pull thread back over the cutting off blade at point C. Close the bobbin cover plate. Start by raising the needle to its highest point, and also raise the presser foot to release the tension discs. Draw the thread from the spool through the upper thread guide. Guide the thread around the thread guide, pulling the thread through the pre-tension spring. Thread the tension module by pressing the thread between the silver discs. Then down and around the check spring holder. At the top of this movement, pass the thread from right to left through the slotted eye of the take-up lever and then downwards again. Pass the thread behind the flat, horizontal thread guide. Guide the thread through the wire loop. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet when threading the needle. Raise the needle to its highest position and lower the presser foot. Lower the needle threader lever slowly and draw the thread through the thread guide, and then to the right. The needle threader automatically turns to the threading position, and the hook pin passes through the needle eye. Take the thread in front of the needle. Hold the thread loosely and release the lever slowly. The hook will turn and pass the thread through the needle eye, forming a loop. Pull the thread through the needle eye. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord when raising up the lower thread. Hold the upper thread with the left hand. Turn the hand wheel towards you, lowering then raising the needle. Gently pull on the upper thread to bring the bobbin thread up through the needle plate hole. Pull both threads to the back under the presser foot. Select Straight Stitch with Mode Selection button and Direct Pattern Selection button. Turn the hand wheel towards you to lower the needle to a starting position. Lower the presser foot and press foot controller to begin sewing. Stop the sewing machine by releasing your foot from foot controller when it comes to the sewing end. Raise the needle and presser foot. Remove the fabric, draw the threads to the left side of the face cover, and cut using the thread cutter. The threads are cut at the proper length to start the next seam. Stop the sewing machine when you reach a corner. Lower the needle into the fabric manually or by pressing the needle up-down button once. Raise the presser foot. Use the needle as a pivot and turn the fabric. Lower the presser foot and resume sewing. Reverse stitching is used to secure the threads at the beginning and at the end of a seam. Press the reverse button and sew 4 to 5 stitches. The machine will sew forward when the button is released. The black button of the presser foot will lock the presser foot in a horizontal position if you push it in before lowering the presser foot. This ensures even feeding at the beginning of a seam and helps when sewing multiple layers of fabric, such as sewing over seams when hemming jeans. When you reach the point of an increased thickness, lower the needle and raise the presser foot. Press the toe of the foot and push in the black button, then lower the foot and continue sewing. The black button releases automatically after sewing a few stitches. When straight stitch is selected, the needle position is regulated by the stitch width adjustment buttons. When you press the minus stitch width adjustment button, the needle position will move to the left. When you press the plus stitch width adjustment button, the needle position will move to the right. The stitch length can be adjusted by pressing the stitch length adjustment buttons. To shorten the stitch length, press the minus stitch length adjustment button. For a longer stitch length, press the plus stitch length adjustment button. Sewing over casting stitches along the edge of the fabric will prevent them from fraying. Change the presser foot to the overcasting foot. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet when changing the presser foot. Select overcasting stitch with mode selection button and number button. Sew the fabric with the fabric edge against the guide of the overcasting foot. Mark the positions of the buttonhole on the fabric. Attach the buttonhole foot. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet when changing the presser foot. Attach the buttonhole foot, then pull out the button holder plate and insert the button. The size of the buttonhole is determined by the button inserted in the button plate. The thread should be passed through the hole in the presser foot, then be placed under the foot. Turn on the power switch. Select buttonhole stitch with mode selection button and number button. Position the fabric under the presser foot with the front end of the buttonhole mark aligned with the center line on the buttonhole foot. Pull the buttonhole lever all the way down and position it behind the bracket on the buttonhole foot. While lightly holding the end of the upper thread, start sewing. Raise the presser foot and cut thread. Cut the center of the buttonhole, being careful not to cut any stitches on either side. Use a pin as a stopper at the bar tack so you do not cut too much. After sewing the buttonholes, raise the buttonhole lever all the way up to its original position for other sewing. Your machine has a wide variety of decorative stitches. We will use this stitch as an example. Attach the satin stitch foot. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet when changing the presser foot. Select this stitch with mode selection button and number button. When these patterns are selected, press the auto stop button. The machine will sew 3 locking stitches at the end of the current pattern and automatically stop. Select the pattern. Press the mirror button. LCD will display the mirror function and the machine will sew the reflected pattern until you press the mirror button again. Press the M button to enter the memory mode and store the combinations of character and decorative stitches. Press the mode selection button to select any desired pattern group among patterns 1 or patterns 2 on the LCD screen. Repeat this step for more patterns to be stored in the memory. We will use this JUKI heart as an example. Select the patterns 2, number 20, then 31. Use the left or right arrow buttons to check what you have programmed. Press the M button to leave the memory mode and return to the direct mode. While in memory mode, press the left or right buttons until the stitch number you have selected is displayed. Then add the new stitch. If you wish to delete a certain stitch within the memory mode, use the left or right buttons until the stitch number is displayed. Press the C button to delete the selected pattern, and the next pattern will move forward. Press the M button to enter the memory mode. Press on the foot control or press the Start/Stop button to start the sewing machine. Sewing pattern repeats until you stop the machine. When you press the Auto Stop button, the machine will sew 3 locking stitches at the end of the pattern. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet when replacing the needle. Change the needle regularly, especially if showing signs of wear and causing problems. Loosen the needle clamp screw and tighten again after inserting the new needle. The flat side of the shaft should be towards the back. Insert the needle as far up as it will go. To ensure your safety, turn off the power switch and unplug the power cord from its electrical outlet during maintenance. If lint and bits of thread accumulate in the hook, this will interfere with the smooth operation of the machine. Check regularly and clean the stitching mechanism when necessary. Remove the needle plate cover, bobbin, needle, presser foot holder, and needle plate. Clean the feed dog and bobbin case with a brush. Also clean them using a soft, dry cloth. We hope that this DVD has given you a better understanding of your new sewing machine. If you have any further questions, please refer to your instruction manual. We hope that you will enjoy your sewing